Hi, everyone. My name is Matt Haynes. I'm an audiobook narrator and a teacher of narration.
And I'm Trenton Bennett. I am also an audiobook narrator.
We have a series where we are just sharing tips that we think might be helpful to people who are just coming into narration, or people who are considering going into narration, or people who are accomplished in narration but could use just some refresher ideas. We have been talking about the preparation process. And today we're just going to go over some specific vocal warm-up ideas to give a shot at. I didn't do a grammar warm-up when I started this video, but
That's
we can
okay, I'll
do.
cover for you. I'll tell
Okay,
folks a secret that I do before I
yeah,
even begin the vocal part.
go for it.
I brush my teeth, floss, use mouthwash, and then I have a water pick. That sounds really elaborate, but really it takes about 10 minutes. But I do all of that because my mouth is really well hydrated and it dramatically cuts down on the amount of mouth noises. So a lot of folks get really wound up about mouth noises. I let them go unless they're really bad. But brush, floss, swish, and you'll reduce the amount of mouth noises because everything will be nice and lubricated.
Can you first of all mention about the ingredient in the mouthwash? Because my experience with like gum, mint flavored gum, or mouthwash is that it actually dries me out. What's the secret with that?
You can get a non-alcoholic mouthwash. So I have one, and I don't remember the is it sorbitol, something like that. It has a non-alcoholic ingredient, and it still is pretty good, but it leaves a really, really strong metallic aftertaste for me. So that's why I mentioned swishing, is I then follow up with a lot of water, so I don't have that weird wintergreen in the back of my mouth when I'm
Yeah,
reading.
yeah.
But everything really feels clean as far as that because everything's really well hydrated. And I use a
Uh,
water pick as well. I mentioned that because that really you're able to make sure that your mouth is really clean and ready to go.
and when you say mouth noises, there's two types that I think of. One is the click, right?
Hmm.
When breathing in, there's a sound. But the other is sometimes what I find that when my mouth is dry or I'm particularly tense, there's an ongoing clickiness within the words, almost sort of a as if
Yes,
things aren't there. Which one do you think this best combats, or do you think they're equally covered when you do this?
I feel it covers equally because it's everything in your mouth. But the truth is,
Right.
we humans have all these moving mouth thingies in our mouths that click and clack against each other. And yes, it's the sound of kind of saliva and wet stuff. But you have to let it go because all of us have this. And when you're talking with a person, chances are you don't typically notice it until the point where you have to listen to your voice directly in your ear and spend hours paying close attention to it, and it starts to stand out to you. And that's why we always try to let all but the most egregious mouth noises, to quote David H. Lawrence the 17th, go. Let them go. And just deal with
Go.
it when you have a whole lot of smacky clickiness.
Right, right. Because it becomes a vicious cycle, doesn't it? Make a mouth noise, and oh no, I made a mouth noise, and then suddenly I find my jaw tense, 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 and then that leads to more mouth noise. I mean, I think so much of narration, especially earlier in the career, is about self-forgiveness, and giving oneself grace to be imperfect and to just move forward, move forward, move forward. Um, and I think that even includes the warm-up process, where it's like, well, am I truly warmed up? Am I really feeling it? Am I ready to narrate today? Oh, I'm just not feeling it. I'm still slightly tense. Maybe tomorrow I'll come back and I'll really be ready. And I would say if you're in that mindset, just dive in, because that'll help relax you. And the knowledge, the body's knowledge that no matter what happens, we're going to move on. We're going to move on, move on. Actually helps the body and the mouth and the voice and the focus recover, recover, recover. Um, I was going to throw in some of my warm up exercises, but I think this theme of preparation is a good one to just end the video on. How you know, having a nice clean vessel by which you're narrating, but then also just letting some of it go, letting some of it go. Because after all, what we're involved in is storytelling. And when listening to someone tell us a story, we usually aren't listening for the mouth noises, or if there are mouth noises, we're not distracted by them unless they're
Exactly.
egregious. And which is what I experience when I've got tense jaw. And then it's time to take a drink of warm water, massage my jaw a little bit, but still move forward, move forward, move forward.
But the massage and the stress, that's another thing to mention because I love reading. I love the fact that I'm there. That doesn't mean it's easy. I have times when it gets a little difficult or I'm having a hard time with an accent. So you do have to remain relaxed because you're going to move your face into different positions to do different sounds. Some voices, I may modify the shape of my mouth briefly. And
Right.
so you have to be relaxed because otherwise people can hear it. And you won't realize until after 30 minutes of this and you go, oh, wow, my shoulders were rolled forward and my chin was tucked down and I needed to. That's actually why I stand to record. I find it
Oh,
more
yeah,
comfortable
yeah,
because I
yeah.
can open up my rib cage like you do on stage, stand like I'm singing, and I can keep my posture straight and I can make myself stay upright and not hunch
the
over,
the
curl
the
in, and
vulture
tense
the
up.
vulture position is what I call it.
Exactly.
Um, Wonderful. So everybody, uh, thank you for joining us. And as your narrator and teacher of narration, I hope that our voices and your ears meet again real soon. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all.